Hi class, this is Professor Mary Brennan. I'm back. We're at part 2 of types of reasoning, speaking to my argumentation class, and we left off kind of trying to help you understand the categorical syllogism, and we're going to get more into that. Let's go back to the PowerPoint right now. Alrighty, here we are. This is where we left off. We're just going to go and take a look at that again. So major premise states a generalization, minor premise states a specific case or class of that generalization, and the conclusion is what is deduced from the major and minor premise. Now you can have a major premise and conclusion and figure out what the minor premise is. You probably cannot figure out what the categorical syllogism is without the major premise. Here's my example. All students at Fresno City College are intelligent. Serena is a Fresno City College student. Therefore, you can deduce that Serena is intelligent. Okay. So what makes a syllogism valid? And I started to talk about that. So it's about validity, about the construction of the validity of the construction of it, but it's not necessarily the truth. Okay. So structure, construction, same idea. May not be true, but it can be valid. A categorical syllogism must, in its major premise, define the category in question so that it can be determined for that specific case cited in the minor premise. So you have to be able to think of it in terms of that large category and that circle within the large category. Okay? So all women are beautiful. Juliana is a woman, therefore Juliana is beautiful. But you can't say it this way. You can't say all women are beautiful, Juliana is beautiful. We don't know Juliana is a woman. We don't know that in the minor premise. Because this is why. Let me explain it to you. If we say all women are beautiful, Juliana is beautiful. Well, just because all women are beautiful, it doesn't mean that other things aren't beautiful. We don't know. Juliana could be a man. We don't know who Juliana is. We can't determine that she's a woman if the minor premise says she's beautiful. We just know she's in the circle of beautiful. Okay, is it starting to make sense? Because a lot of times students have a hard time with this. So let's keep going. No terms can be found in the conclusion that aren't in the premises. So your conclusion, whatever's the conclusion, has to be found, whatever you've concluded, those things must be found in the major and minor premise. It can't be something completely out there. The major and minor premises cannot both be negative. So you can't say this. Let's take it. Let's play with it. No women are beautiful. Juliana is not a woman. What are you going to say? You cannot deduce from that Juliana is then beautiful. You can't. There's no way to deduce that because you've limited that category. I want you to really think about it. No women are beautiful. Juliana is not a woman. Juliana could be anything, but it doesn't mean she's beautiful because we haven't said what else isn't beautiful. Are you getting me? So we say, no women, let's go with this. No women are beautiful. Juliana is a woman. Then you can say, Juliana is not beautiful. Dogs do not chase cats. Jack is not a dog. You can't determine that Jack then chases cats, right? So if we say dogs do not chase cats, Jack is a dog. We can say, if we say dogs do not chase cats, because the dogs is an all dog. You say all dogs do not chase cats. We can assume then that Jack doesn't chase cats. All right, let's keep going. Or I'm going to sound so redundant. All right. If one of the premises are negative, the conclusion must also be negative. And I gave you those examples. Aren't these fun? I think they're super fun. That's why I have you looking at them, because I love how once you get the hang of it, you can like play with these all day. I think they're super fun, and you can make some crazy ones too. They don't have to be, again, they have to be validly constructed. They don't have to be the truth. They have to have valid construction. All right, where are we? We are now going to talk about conditional syllogism. What do I mean by that? So usually a conditional syllogism means, think of things that are conditional. It's an if-then statement. If a particular thing happens, then it follows that the next thing will occur. Okay? That's a conditional syllogism. A disjunctive syllogism, and I'm going to give you examples in a minute, are either or statements. Either this happens, then this will happen. Can be judged valid when all considerations are taken into the major premise. Okay, so the major premise has to have all the stuff in it. And the conclusion is therefore drawn by the process of elimination. Let's take a look at this. We have some examples. So structural validity versus material truth. Remember this, structural validity versus material truth. Either Henry is a dog or cat. Henry is a dog. Then we know Henry is not a cat. Right? That's conditional. The either or. Either Tomas is a man or a woman. Tomas is a man. Tomas is not a woman. Either I like green eggs or ham. I like green eggs. I don't like ham. Is it starting to make sense? Yeah. Okay. Easy peasy. It's easy peasy. All right. Okay, here's some other ones. If angels have wings, they can't fly. They can fly. So if angels have wings, they can fly. Francis is an angel. Francis can fly. If students study hard for the test, they're likely to pass. Students did not study hard. It is unlikely that they will pass. The Fresno Unified School District must either cut music and arts programs or freeze teachers and administrators' salaries. Fresno Unified is not going to cut their music and arts program. What do you deduce? Teachers and administrators will not be receiving any wage salary increases. Now, notice that I changed the wording a little, but it still says the same thing, just in a different word. But I gave you that example for a reason, because often you can see this and it's not stated as clearly in that construction. People don't usually state that way, but you can see the construction of that syllogism there, right? Freeze teachers. And what does it mean to freeze the teachers and administrators' salaries? It means they're not going to get an increase. Freeze means to not give them increases. It's going to stay the same. Okay, so that deduction is teachers and administrators will not be receiving any wage salary increases, any living wage. That means that's the same as saying that their wages are going to freeze. All right, moving along. Okay, let's look at inductive and deductive. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're pretty good. So we're just going to kind of look at these in terms of how they're different, and then we're going to move into inductive reasoning. So I kind of show you different. So inductive is arguing from specific cases to more general cases. So it's giving specific things, and from the specific thing, you're coming up with a generalization. So think about that. We do that all the time. We have specific cases, and then because these specific cases happen, we might be able to generalize, right? Sometimes when we do that, it's also oftentimes when there will be bias, but that is like inductive reasoning. It's not necessarily always wrong, but it's from specific instances of things that we come up with a generalization. All right. Utilize when confronted with a host of specific cases, but lack an understanding and knowledge of the factors that contributed to these specific cases. We use inductive reasoning to arrive at conclusions. So we don't have all the information. We have these specific incidents of cases. We have like individual cases, individual examples in different situations. Let's say, okay, here's inductive reasoning. There's inductive reasoning around people who make generalizations about people that are living without homes, living on the street. Okay, let's just call them people living on the street. We can say homeless, but it could also be that they're living on the street. Because we maybe have specific, particular instances of people taking money and buying drugs, we then generalize that all people that are living in the streets use that money that they panhandle for, are going to use them for drugs. Now, we do that. That's our reasoning. It's partly true and partly not true, right? So deductive is arguing from more general cases to specific cases. We utilize what we know about something in general and apply it to a specific situation. So you can go back. So let's say we know the percentage of people on the street that use drugs. Let's say it's 65%. So if you know that 65% of the people living on the street use their money to pay for alcohol and drugs, then if that's coming from a general knowing, like a large number of something, then we might apply that to a person and think maybe that's what's happening. Okay, so you can go back and forth with that. Or how do we do something? If we deduce it, we have a situation where we're dealing with maybe not even people, dealing with a situation maybe like the DMV, right? There's a lot of cases that people get upset with the DMV because of all the red tape and all the different things that you have to go through with the DMV. And I'm about to run out of time, then we're going to stop. And then there's a lot of cases, general cases that you hear about, maybe not even specific cases, just general what we know about the government. So then we might go to the Social Security office or the DMV with an attitude, right? Because we think that our particular situation, is going to be like that. We've deduced that from what we know generally about that institution. Okay, you see how it's a little bit different? We're going to stop there and I'm going to pick up on the next. It looks like we're going to be doing 4 lectures. So sorry about that, but I hope you're getting what you need. Okay, see you soon.